everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara and here I show you a lot of bullet journal and creativity related videos. Today I'm going to show you how I set up my February spreads and yeah, I hope you enjoy and let's go! For this month I decided to try something new, which kind of made me nervous. I decided to be a little more loose with all of my setups, and usually I like to use a ruler for every single line I draw, and my spreads always turn out pretty symmetrical. And I mean, this is definitely not anything bad or anything like that. I just wanted to switch things up a little bit and challenge myself. So the goal was to get away from this very clean kind of look and make everything a little more artsy and maybe scrapbooky, if you know what I mean. And I was honestly so scared, and I don't even know why, but I've always seen these nice spreads of other people where they would also use some washi tape to decorate their spreads and it would look amazing. And to be honest, I have a lot of washi tape, but I thought that my spreads might look weird if I put it in there. So I never used it, and now I decided to do so. And to be honest, this might be my favorite setup I've done so far, and I started bullet journaling I think about 4 years ago. So I'm very excited to get to share this one with you. Yeah, I started my setup by drawing my cover page, which is actually pretty simple. I just drew a banner and some stars and planets that are attached to the banner on some strings. And for this I used my watercolors, which I got from my boyfriend for Christmas. And I also used some brushes I got from his sister and her boyfriend for my birthday at the beginning of the year. And I actually reviewed these and a lot more things I got for Christmas in another video, so if you're interested you can go ahead and check it out by clicking the link in the info box. So yeah, I colored everything using my watercolors, and then I used a new brush pen I bought recently for adding February to the banner. It's called Deco Brush and it is from the brand Karen. And to add some more dimension and contrast to the picture I used my Uniball Sigma Broad Gel pen and drew a lot of constellations in the background. And then I moved on to my quotes page, which is going to be on the left side of my cover page. Here and in pretty much all of the following spreads I used the same basic design. Except for the planets, I did not add any on here, but on the next pages I did. So yeah. For the background I used black, orange and dark blue watercolors and created some kind of galaxy look, very similar to the way I colored my 2021 setup. And then I just colored in the stars and the banners, and I added some constellations on here as well. The quote I chose is "Don't be afraid of the unknown, because even when they wander into darkness, planets are born stars." I just thought that it fit the theme perfectly, and for the quote I just used my, take a breath, Uniball Sigma Broad Gel pen in gold. So yeah, that's it for my cover page. Let's move on to my monthly log. I was so nervous drawing these boxes. Usually I don't really have a calm hand, so drawing straight lines without a ruler is kind of a challenge, but I think it turned out okay. The lines are not too wobbly, I think, and yeah, above I drew a little gold box where I just added the weekdays later on. Then I wrote down all of the dates into the boxes and started creating some small designs on the right side of the spread. Yeah, just used the same design I used before on my cover page, so there's nothing really new here I could tell you, except that if you do use watercolors directly in your bullet journal, you have to keep in mind that it is actually a lot harder to handle them on regular paper than on watercolor paper, since as you can see right here, there's a little dark spot. The paper takes on the color a lot faster than watercolor paper would, so you cannot pick it up again to blend it better. Then I added one more design underneath that, and once I was done, I drew a little gold frame around both of them. Well, then I wanted to add the header, but I forgot the first R. I simply cut out a little paper from the back of my bullet journal and glued it on top and wrote February again. And little spoiler right here, this won't be the last time I forgot a letter in the setup. I don't know what was going on in my head, but I didn't like headers that day. I don't know. For the finishing touches, I drew some little gold details and used some washi tapes. Here it is, the washi tape. And it does not look as out of place as I thought it would, so that's great. And now we're on another page where I tried something out of my comfort zone. I made a circular mood tracker, and like for sketching out all of the spreads I can just use a compass to make a perfectly round circle. However, I have to go over everything with a fine liner afterwards, and that's where things get tricky. Like I said before, my hands are not the calmest, so circles probably not gonna happen. But even though it has its flaws, I think it turned out alright. I think it even matches the rest of the page pretty well, since the strings on which the stars are attached are not straight as well. And once I managed to draw a couple of somewhat circles, I filled in one of them with black, where I will write out the days later on. And I used my black Tombow dual brush marker for that. Then I added the design of the month in the center. For the header, I used my Tombow calligraphy pen, and once I was done, I just added the legend down below. And yes, I did forget another letter. The second A in amazing was missing, but I just squeezed it in there, like no one would care, so yeah. And once I was done, I moved on to my habit tracker. Later on, I actually went back into the spread to also add some gold details and washi tape, but first I started my habit tracker, and here I decided to add the design at the top, and then I started to make my trackers. Here I just made some monthly calendars and added the habit above. And can we just take a second to appreciate this perfect rectangle of this month? I know that in the US and probably in other countries as well, a lot of people start their weeks on Sundays. But here in Germany, we actually start them on Mondays, and this creates this beautiful calendar for this month. I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate that. So yeah, once I finished my tracker so far, I also added this month's design in the left corner of the page. And here I decided to use some washi tape and tape it to the design, so it kind of creates this look of a picture that is glued into the journal. And I really like that, and I used it in the following spreads as well. Then I added the title to the top of the design, and yes, I know it's a little off-center, but I think there's so much going on these pages, like no one will notice or care. It's fine. Afterwards, I just added the goal details to both pages and continued with my sleep tracker. Here, I actually don't have as much to talk about as on the previous pages. But well, like in my previous monthly setups, like in January and December and so on, I use the data that my Fitbit watch collects and write it down here. I already do have all of these informations in my Fitbit app. However, I like to track it here alongside all of my other trackers as well, so I can compare everything, for example, my sleep and mood, more easily. So yeah, what I track here is the time I slept, the grade that Fitbit gives you sleep, the percentage I spend awake in REM phase, in light sleep, and deep sleep. Then I track if I was tired the next day and my average heart rate during the night. And then I also added 3, let's say, picture frames with constellations to the left side of the tracker. And here I used washi tape like I did in my habit tracker before. And I also added a small Saturn in the upper right corner that kind of comes out of the picture. And yeah, lastly I added some more washi tape and goal details again, and that's all for this spread. On the next 2 pages I created the spreads for my finance tracker, where I just track my income, my subscriptions and my spendings. And for this page I added a lot of picture frames at the bottom, and I decided to not only add washi tape, but also draw some pins that would hold up the pictures. Yeah. Then I also added the design at the top. And yeah, my trackers are pretty simple. Like I said before, I divide everything into income, subscriptions and spendings. And for this I just note the date of the transaction, what the money is for, if it's a positive or a negative transaction, and the amount of money. So it's pretty simple, but I think it's just good to have this overview at the end of the month. And now we are actually moving on to my last spread of the month, which is my memories page. Here I just drew a lot of small boxes and wrote in the dates of the month, and then I used the remaining boxes to incorporate the design with the planets and constellations again. I also framed everything once again using my gold gel pen. And in the middle part of the spread, I then wrote out the title of the page. And yeah, lastly I added some washi tape again, and then I was done with the setup. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please leave a like and tell me in the comments below what your theme of the month is, if you also bullet journal. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel to see more videos like this, and don't forget to activate the bell so you won't miss any new uploads. I hope to see you guys in my next video again, and enjoy this final flip through. Have a wonderful week. Bye!